What is going on, guys? Welcome to Gum's Videos, and welcome back to my WTF series reviews, where I review something so bad that it's good, or something so bad that I would much rather take a blade of glass and just step right on it 17 times. Today I'll be reviewing X-Men Dark Phoenix. Before we get into today's review, I got an announcement to make. Obviously, you guys noticed the sound quality difference and the headset on. I'm sorry for the poor audio quality. It is the best I can do right now because it's missing a stand. That's not the main problem. But when I plugged it in and I started recording, it sounded like I had a fan right next to it and I was underwater. So it's dead. I needed to get a new mic, but I went to, no exaggerations, 2 different Walmarts, 1 Target, 3 GameStops, and a Best Buy, and no one had mics, like legit mics, in stock. I would call these stores up. They're like, "Oh, you have to come into the store because we don't know because of COVID-19 and we don't know what their stock will look like. So come in, just come on in. Yeah, let's go." And so I go to these stores and they're like, "Yeah, by the way, we ran out of stocks. We like see that on the shelf. That's what we have." I'm like, "There's nothing there." He's like, "Exactly." And I'm like, "Wow, what happened?" He's like, "Well, after COVID-19." I'm like, "So let me get this straight. COVID-19 equals no microphones?" Like, you would think COVID-19 equals no toilet paper, equals, no hand sanitizer, no face masks. No, just microphones. So when you guys hear a pandemic, you guys are like, "Yo, let me go snatch that fucking Yeti over there." I had this dope-ass mic, and I'm going to have to order that shit online. But in the meantime, this is what I'm going to be stuck with, so bear with me for the next couple days until I get to order something online. Well, anyways, guys, let's get into the review of X-Men Dark Phoenix. Let's get this out of the way. This is not the worst X-Men movie out there. It is a bad X-Men movie, which there is a lot of, but this is a bad X-Men movie, but it's not the worst. I still think that holds towards X-Men Apocalypse. God-awful movie. Gross. Disgusting. Wrong. This movie fails in so many different ways. But anyway, before we get into the nitpicks, the specifics I want to complain about, let's go over the plot, lack thereof. So the movie opens up with Jean Grey with her parents, just in the car chilling out, maxing, relaxing, and I don't know, there was this weird dialogue. That's a huge problem, by the way, the dialogue. There was this huge, weird dialogue back and forth about the radio station, how when you get older, because, character development, I guess it didn't really amount to anything. They're talking about the radio. She's like, "Change it." And then she's like, "Stop it." Having a tantrum. And then the mom falls asleep, crashing into another car. They are presumed dead. She goes to the hospital. Professor X meets her there. He's like, "Yo, want to come with us?" She's like, "Okay." Then we cut to the opening title sequence. La 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 la. Then when we cut to 1992, 1993. So like 20 years pass from that opening sequence to now. And now they're already going to space. And this is when the main plot takes place. So there's no character development, no what happened the past 10 years. Because these like prequel X-Men movies take place 10 years within each other. Like Apocalypse was the 80s. First Class was the 60s. And I forget what was the 70s. There was something. Oh, Days of Future Past. That's the one. That was the 70s. But yeah, there's no development, nothing. You just, let's go to space to save these astronauts. They go to space, and Jean gets hit with this dark force, and people start calling her the Dark Phoenix. They thought she's dead, blah, 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 blah. I want to give this little shout-out, though. This is the first time we get a really strong, accurate Professor X, because people don't know. Professor Xavier is a total D-bag in the comics. He's like a tool. A tool and a half. He's not the Professor X, Patrick Stewart you guys know and love. He's a douche. He's a control freak. He's an egomaniac. And we kind of get that in here. So I appreciated that. But, you don't get to really bask in that because we got to follow Jean losing control, about to snap. I don't know who this chick is because, again, we seen her in Apocalypse, and that was it. And now this. I don't know who she is. I know she's Jean Grey. I know her name because I read a comic or two back in my day, and I've seen a cartoon, and I played some of the video games, so I know who she is, and I know who she's destined to be. But I don't know who this Jean Grey is. Anyway, she starts losing her shit. Literally an hour and 15 minutes of her running away, getting angry, having tantrums, and then Final sequence, she decides to go good. And then that's the end, she dies. I just explained the plot to you. 2 hours, by the way. It's weird because movies have two different storylines. There is a character-driven story, or there's a plot-driven story. A lot of times, it's just focused on one, and very rarely it's on both of them. And the ones that focus on both are very rarely good. They're usually all over the place. And if they are good, they're like 2 hours and 45 minutes long. But what was this? I don't know. Because, I don't know who these characters are. A lot of them are brand fucking new. And I understand that you can't just say, oh, like, build franchises. Like, you got to build off on one another. But the thing is, even on a standalone point, it makes no sense. Even in a franchise sense, it doesn't make sense. Because I still don't know who they are on a franchise sense. And I don't know who they are in a movie sense. I don't know who these characters are. Like, when they were going to space to save the astronauts, there was this really cringe moment where Cyclops just kind of reaches over like this and then touches Jean Grey's shoulder. And she's like, oh, thank you. I'm like, bitch! I would have been like, get your fucking hands off me, weirdo! But yeah, there's supposed to be like these weird character moments that like, oh, that's who they are. They're dating, so that's their character. Like Cyclops' character, again, has been diminished to he loves Jean Grey. At least he wasn't the whiny prick that we got in the original X-Men movies, because he got no justice. And he was a bitch. Like a bitch. Not just in a character sense, but in a combat sense. So at least in this one, Cyclops actually does things. And I'm like, maybe. Too bad it's your last film. Again, the only people that really have character arcs are Professor Xavier, which I already talked about. He's kind of a douchebag in this. And then Magneto, which I was actually happy with. That was the one part of the movie I was like this. You get the thumbs up. You good job. I'm so sick and tired of seeing him in these movies and just being like, okay, movie 1, I'm good. Movie 2, I'm bad. Movie 3, I'm good. Movie 4, I'm bad. Like this constant back and forth. Magneto is a constant in the X-Men universe. In the comics, TV shows, the movies, it will always be a thing. But for fuck's sake, do something nice with it. And this is the first time that we got something new. It's where he's taking charge of this little island. I don't know where, but he's on this island taking care of mutants. And that's cool because it's also a nod to the comics where the mutants actually get their own country. So I'm like, I like that. I like that a lot. So I thought that was really cool. And it was the next step that the character really needed to take, because this back and forth shit, I'm tired of. They kind of do it back and forth, but it was more of a subtle nod than a, like, I am here to destroy the X-Men, to I'm here to save and support the X-Men. Like, it's tired of it. So this was done a little bit better on that sense. It's crazy because you got a really talented cast, and for the most part, I think the acting was pretty mediocre at best. Especially Jean Grey. I forget the actress's name, but she was in Game of Thrones. She did a fantastic job in that show. I don't know what the hell this was. I mean, to be fair, she wasn't good in the last one either. But this was just awful. Like, when she's getting consumed, or she's consuming the dark energy, she goes, ah! And I'm just like, you're doing good, sweetie. I did forget to mention a plot line, I guess. And that was with the aliens. What a shitty design, first off. And what a lazy B-plot. Okay, you want to introduce this Dark Force and that these people were following. That can be cool. There's ways to make that cool. Is that the first route I would take? Hell no. But you can make it cool. Because, I mean, to be honest, the Dark Phoenix should have been the main villain of this movie, but you need that thing that puts everyone together. Like, you know, in BVS, you needed your Doomsday. You just fucking need it. Like, you need your Baron Zemos in the Civil War. You just, God forbid, if your heroes actually just punch each other. It was the worst B plot ever. It was awful. Like, their entire purpose was, okay, we're going to harness this energy to bring our species back. Okay, you're going Zod Man of Steel style. Okay, I see some potential. Where's this going? Oh, so it has the ability to create life, all this shit. You can make reality change around you. You're basically so powerful. But these aliens are like, we need a place to inhabit. Let's do it here on Earth. Let's just kill everybody and just live here. Fuck it. Makes you wonder, if you have all that power, why can't you just go to Mars, Venus, shit, the fucking sun? Why? You know what's even better? Why don't you just make your own damn planet? You're so fucking powerful. And it's funny because they're talking about this level of power of omnipotence, and for some reason I don't see that on screen. Like that's kind of a pet peeve of mine when they're talking about these god level abilities, and then I see Jean Grey have 100%. She has 100% of the Dark Phoenix energy in her. She's struggling to pull in a helicopter while Magneto's trying to push it. Magneto's powerful, but if this bitch can create life, I think I'll be okay with Magneto getting his ass beat. He does get his ass beat later in the movie, where his helmet gets kind of squished and then just tossed out the window, which is weird because, again, another pet peeve of mine is when they're like, I'm the villain, woo, I can kill you at any second right now. I can literally vaporize you. But since you have, you're a main star and you're like a legit character from the comic books, we're not going to do you like that. We're going to slowly try to kill you, right, by squeezing your helmet on you. Then, instead of just popping your head like a vein, we're just going to, like, rip the helmet apart, then throw you out the window, because that will kill you. Because apparently villains really like pushing their heroes. Supernatural does it all the time. It kind of bothers me, but I kind of get used to it, because again, who cares? But in this sense, you're talking about these god-level power. I'm just like, show it. Show it. If anything, I thought Magneto was more powerful. And from what I'm gathering this is supposed to be a character movie, not a plot. It's very simplistic plot, but it's acting like it's a character movie based off like the way their emotions are pushing the plot forward. It's all about Jean Grey and her struggles and stuff like that. But you can't have a character story when you don't know who these characters are, you don't care for them, and you spend literally no time with them. So when I see these dramatic elements happen, I don't care. Like, fun fact, Mystique dies, and I smiled. Because you know why? Because I'm tired of seeing Jennifer Lawrence not give a shit on screen and just eating up the scenery. She's not Wolverine. She'll never be Wolverine. Stop trying to give her the leadership role. And why are you giving an actress more money when she does not care about the role? Yes, she's a star, and that's cool and all. She's talented, but clearly she doesn't give a fuck about this. So give someone who is talented, but gives a shit about the character. Because with this whole universe, I've never seen so many actors complain about makeup. Is it tedious? Yes. But did you sign up for the role? Yes. So nut up or shut up. You're getting paid. Sit in the fucking makeup chair for 9 hours and do your goddamn job. I'm sorry. You're getting paid, what, $800,000 to be on screen for 20 minutes? My bad. I'll never see that kind of money. But you have the right to get that money and then complain about your fucking makeup? Wow. Like Beast, he does it all the time. Like, he's always like, oh, I'm like a Transformer now. When I'm angry, I go, Rrr! And he's like the Hulk. Rrr! It just activates. I'm like, no, that's not who Beast is. What are you doing? I mean, look at Nightcrawler over there. He's taking it like a fucking champion. And the original Nightcrawler took it like a champion, even though he's like, okay, I'm done. If you need me to be in makeup more, I'm not doing the role. So he left with some dignity. He's not like, okay, give me a theorem, and then I will be in the movie some more. No. You know why? He's like, I get that's the character. I'm going to respect the character, and I'm going to leave. Took his paycheck. He did what he was supposed to do, and he left. But you guys are still getting a paycheck, and you're still bitching about your makeup? Sit in the fucking makeup or leave. Shoo. That's a different tangent, but shoo. leave. When Mystique died, I was happy. I was like, thumbs up. Everyone's like, oh my god, she's dead. She was the best of us. I'm like, was she though? And let's talk about the most unnecessary F-bomb drop. I get Cyclops was emotional, and he was in a very vulnerable state, and we're supposed to act like he cares, or we're supposed to understand that he cares, even though, again, he did a shoulder touch thing, so they're dating, clearly. He's like, where the fuck is Jane? I'm like, Cyclops? The dialogue was as generic as dialogue can get. It seems like a draft one script when it comes to the dialogue. Like, half the time I was guessing what they were going to say next, and I was right. And the ending when Jean Grey dies, when she went to sacrifice herself, it was the most cliched line, and it actually made me stop the movie and go, huh? It's that whole spiel. Your emotions make you weak. Everyone, let's say it together now. No, it doesn't. It makes me stronger. Unite! Ass! Total dog shit writing, you bullshit writer. Imagine making a, what, $200 million, $300 million budget film, and that's your dialogue. That's your epic moment. That's your epic moment to sell this dramatic climax. Bullshit. Bullshit. And these X-Men movies have a habit of taking what should be a whole trilogy to its own, like Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix, and just condensing them into one movie. Like, I get it, people don't want to see things just overstretched to be overstretched. I get it, but these are big storylines where you have 50 fucking X-Men and, like, one iconic villain. It's going to be hard to do that in one movie and give everybody justice. So give it a trilogy, for fuck's sake. Pull a Star Wars. If I was running Fox at the time, I would be like, okay, you want to do Apocalypse next? Trilogy, let's do it. Let's make it right, and let's make it good. But no, let's do one movie. You know what? Fuck it. I think we could condense the lore of the character and just, like, build up all these characters and all these heroes and make everyone care about them and just throw them against this villain and beat them in one movie. Let's go, unite, Power Rangers! Ass. Terrible. All in all, this movie is bad. Is it the worst piece of shit I've ever seen? No. Is it the worst X-Men movie ever? No. This movie was gracefully short at 2 hours, but it did not feel like 2 hours, so that's a plus. I say so in my book. I think that's a plus. So, yeah, dog shit. Stick to the end of the credits to see what I'm going to be reviewing next week. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, sorry for the audio quality. I'm going to try to get that fixed ASAP. In the meantime, like, comment, subscribe, all that crap. Later and goodbye. Peace.